Hi, I'm Dick Bandstra, and I immigrated in 1961. John and Theo, another brother of mine, and Andy Bearda started Bandstra Transport in 1955. I drove for about 13 years. By that time we had 4 boys. I said to Andy once, would you like to sell? And he said, yeah. He said, I wouldn't mind. It's okay. So we went to a coffee shop, John and Andy and me, and he wrote it on a napkin what he wanted for the company. And if I'm not mistaken, Brother John saved that napkin for many years. So in 1976, John and I became partners, and that was a good relationship. He had certain areas he was good at. He was good at book work, and not me, and I did more mechanical. It was good, nice working, yeah. And then John retired, I forgot the year offhand, and then I became president of the company. In 2001, I said, I'm going to retire. This truck is the same type, the first Mack we bought when we went into tandems and diesels. And that was in, I think it was 1964 or 5, that we got our first Mack. When I retired, Bill Zemacek and me fixed this one up. We bought it, came out of a logging camp in Prince George, but it was the same model we had. And it took us about, pretty well a year to fix it. We stripped it right down and then built it up again. Phil, my son, because he was online with the computer business, he found all of them. Some had to come from the States and some was local. Well, it didn't have all that much horsepower. The one we had was, I think 125 horse. But it had lots of gears. And some of the hills, we had a D8 or a D9 Cat. Well, you pretty well had to go backwards because it's so slow. But we made it. We had the odd different one, but most of it, if we ordered them red. That's why my pickup is red too. I tell you, I think not too many drivers would drive this anymore with 2 sticks to shift. I mean, nowadays, I think most of them are automatic. So that's for the lazy drivers, I call them. But we had to, shift. And sometimes you had to shift with 2 hands. You stick one hand through the steering wheel and shift. 2 shift levers on the floor. And because you have 2 transmissions, you go with one high and the other one low, and then you go 1, 2, 3, and then the other high and back to low. So you need 2 hands to get up the gears. Well, you already had to stick it through the steering wheel to hold it straight. I started driving in 1963, and our main roads, our main hauls were to Prince Rupert, and quite a bit of it were still gravel. So we had an awful time sometimes. We got lots of flat tires, and the trips took quite long. Yeah, I say sometimes if the roads were good, maybe we could do it in 8 or 9 hours to Rupert and load and come back. So that's the long days. I enjoyed the driving. The only trouble was you're never home. There was no such thing as 10, 12 hours a day. We made sometimes a little too many. Well, we hauled everything, but everything was loose, we hauled. And hauled some big stuff, D8 Cats, and D9s. I remember one haul, I hauled the D9 up past Morristown, and I hit a bit of a dip, and I look in the mirror, and the sparks were flying because the bottom of the trailer hit the ground. Yeah. I mean, I remember John, he had a 5-ton truck, and they had planks on the back of the trucks because quite often there was a big pothole, And then they would lay the planks down, drive over, pick them up again out of the mud. So it was not easy going. Sleep, we never slept. And if we needed an hour, then we laid on the bench here. We never had a sleeper. Till later on, we had a Hayes cab over and then we had a sleeper. I remember hauling to Vancouver later on. We got a license to haul Vancouver. 2 trips a week. The roads weren't that good either yet. And then sometimes you made a week, you had maybe 120 hours. And a big thing in the winter was chaining up. You were always chaining up because you didn't have much power, so you got slow and then you spin out. So stop on the bottom of the hill, put some chains on. We had a good maintenance program. They were quite reliable, yeah. Ed Adama came in as a mechanic and did a good job. It's been a good time. And the Lord has blessed us all these years.